Hello everybody, San here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about the FDA putting Beam 201 on hold for their IND application. This is, of course, one of the big programs for Beam Therapeutics. It is something that had happened actually earlier part of this month. And I want to apologize to our viewers because I never made a video on this. I never even talked about this. To my defense, it was around the time I came back from Greece there from vacation, so I was quite busy here and there, but it is no excuse. If I pride on being a YouTube channel to deliver you guys the latest and greatest news on CRISPR, on genomics companies, or just biotech as a whole, something like this should have been, expressed to you guys as soon as the news came out. Unfortunately, it just slipped through the cracks here on my end. So Beam Therapeutics announces the FDA clinical hold on Beam 201 IND application. Just as a reminder, this is just for the IND application. It's not like they were in phase 1 or phase 2 clinical trial. Let's go through this through the official announcement, and maybe let's talk about it, right? Let me give my thoughts here. So really, they're going over the fact that the US FDA announced on July 29 in email format that they're putting the IND application on hold, right? And they have basically 30 days. The FDA indicated that they will provide an official clinical hold letter to Beam Therapeutics for 30 days. Beam plans to provide additional updates pending discussion with the FDA. So that is, of course, after 30 days because we didn't get anything since then. So I think there's different ways of putting this. I think a couple of things, right? So first of all, this is not the first time this has happened. The FDA is notorious for doing this, putting on hold clinical trials, even IND filings. It's something that you guys can Google that. You'll see a bunch of cases, not in CRISPR specifically, just in general, right? So nothing new on that regard. I would say, this whole thing of putting clinical hold and the whole aspect of giving you 30 days, I find this to be very, very legacy type of doing business, right? I think, this maybe made sense in an era where internet was not widely, deployed in the world, and, the way to communicating with people were through maybe mails, or even before that, the word of mouth, right? Getting people meetings physically. I think that would have made sense. But in today's era where you can literally just set up a Teams meeting or a Zoom call, just like literally the next minute and get a bunch of people on the call, I think the 30 days aspect just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying it should be within the day. I'm not saying it should be within 48 hours. I'm just saying giving 30 days, I think it's a little bit overdoing it. In my opinion, if it takes you 30 days to come to a decision, then either you need to revisit the way you take the decision, or maybe there are some inefficiencies in the process of making a decision. And I truly hope the FDA revisit this. This is actually one of the things that Cures 2.0 Bill Act in US will address, the whole lowering entries of barriers and the whole communication between the FDA and these private companies or public companies trying to develop clinical trials and trying to develop a drug that could potentially help a whole patient size. In this case, CAR T cells. I mean, I don't even have to tell you guys cancer cells, how big that TAM, total addressable market, is, right? So clearly this is a serious issue. I think in a sense, I think the FDA needs to revisit that type of process, that type of approach. And I actually think it's unfair for not just Beam Therapeutics, not just the company, but also shareholders. I mean, it's a very tricky topic because, you have these companies, trying to develop these revolutionary drugs and revolutionary therapies using technologies like CRISPR. And, although we don't have a FDA approved CRISPR drug as of now or therapy, what you see here is basically, these companies getting shut down by these organizations, in this case, the US FDA in some cases, being shut down in a sense where, you put this program on a hold. Let's revisit this in 30 days. Literally, that's the message it's getting across because it's been, almost 30 days. We haven't gotten anything from the FDA. I just find that to be very, very disappointing. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that, I think the FDA does a great job when it comes to filtering out, the bad practices and making sure that the proper therapies are done, on the proper way and proper practices, and just standards are followed, procedures, policies are put in place to protect the U.S. citizen or just citizen around the world, right? But I think that sometimes what ends up happening when you start putting more and more layers over time is you get to these legacy ways of treating things. And what happens is you delay things and you make things more expensive. And then what happens is investors will look into space and say, wow, okay, so this company, has this program, has this revolutionary program. That's what they claim. And that's what people are talking about. Yet the FDA is just putting something on hold for 30 days. Now, and am I saying that this is a huge deal? Am I saying that this is gonna be, a make or break for CRISPR? Absolutely not. That's not the point. The point is that you have this overseeing organization that's just putting something on hold without any sort of explanation, and they're telling you that, look, we need 30 days to come up with an explanation, or at least an official response for an explanation. I think that's unfair for shareholders, that's unfair for the citizen, and I think that's ultimately unfair for the company, right? These companies have scientists working on a payroll. I mean, they're just like, what the hell is going on, right? And not just scientists, just like R&D, and just like, we're talking about sales, admin, and folks, people that, they're put on these programs, they're put on hold, right? What do you want to do if you're told for 30 days, we're putting you on a hold, we'll get back to you in 30 days. Imagine if you're a software company and you're working on this product and you're trying to get this product approved in whatever platform, and whatever platform comes to you, say, you know what, we'll give you an official response, 30 days, we're putting you on hold. For 30 days you're losing business, right? For 30 days, that's a lot. 1 month, this is not something that you should be taking lightly, as a business, as a public company, where everything is literally tracked, week by week, quarter by quarter, even day by day at some point, right? So those are my thoughts. A little bit disappointed by the FDA. Again, I wanna make sure that I get this across. I think the FDA and every other health organizations like Health Canada or EMA from Europe, I think they're all there for the right intentions. I think they have the incentives there to protect citizens, and that should be something we respect. That should be a body of organization that should be present and funded properly. But at the same time, I think we have to revisit these policies, these ways of treating businesses. It's just discouraging progress. It's going against innovation. It's going against technology. And it's quite discouraging to see that, where you just have the power to put something on hold without any sort of official response. If you want to put something on hold, you come with an official response right away, and then you give weekly updates, not 30 days updates. This is crazy. I mean, this is only possible in certain industries. I've not seen this in all industries. You guys can bet if software companies were shutting down on hold for certain products for 30 days without explanation, I guarantee you we wouldn't have this much innovation today as we do in the technology / software space, right? So those are my thoughts. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about this clinical hold that was put, IND hold that was put on the IND application for Beam 211. Comments below. Again, really apologize for not announcing this news in the earlier part of this month. It is what it is. Hopefully you guys have a beautiful Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video, fan value, subscribe if not, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.